And back to our lead story, the so-called Gang of Five faced a judge today over secret messages. Our team has been poring over the documents that got 5 Cincinnati City Council members in trouble. Now, before we get into that, we want to recap what happened in today's hearing. Judge Robert Ruhlman called on council members Tamaya Denard, Greg Landsman, Chris Seelbach, Wendell Young, and PG Sittenfeld to resign. All 5 of them admitted to conducting official business using private texts and emails last year, which violates Ohio's Sunshine Law. Still, none of them are telling us that they have plans to step down. Judge Ruhlman said there are really 3 issues at hand here: lies and deceit, trust, and then there's the money. The city spent more than $100,000 to settle the case, money that the judge says means a lot to taxpayers.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And that's their money. That's their hard-earned tax dollars, which have just been poured down the drain on something that should have never, ever happened.
Judge Robert Ruhlman doesn't have the power to make them resign. Some say this is partisan politics because Judge Ruhlman is a Republican. All 5 city council members happen to be Democrats, but the judge said his actions today are not politically motivated. Now, this case may not be closed because just a few minutes ago, Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters told me he may still file tampering with evidence charges against Wendell Young for deleting his text messages. And now we want to bring in Chief Investigative Reporter Craig Cheatham. And Craig, wow, there is a massive amount of paperwork that you and members of the I-team have been pouring through all day long. So far, at least, what have you been finding?
Well, we know that this is a way they conducted city business. What we also know now is how they conducted city business and the language that they used. Tanya, a year ago, the Gang of Five repeatedly discussed how they would respond to Mayor Cranley's complaints about then city manager Harry Black. On March 15th, council members PG Sittenfeld and Tamaya Denard exchanged the following text messages. Sittenfeld texted, "We'll take a first crack at drafting something for us to share tomorrow. Question: is using the term public lynching in a letter too inflammatory or very much warranted?" Denard responded, "I think it's warranted, just depends on how we describe it." Sittenfeld, "Kind of fun, teaming up to kick some blank." Denard, "It is fun. Let's keep at it." Sittenfeld, "Somewhere John Cranley is in a cold sweat having diarrhea." The text messages released today also show PG Sittenfeld dropped an F-bomb when he described the gall of FC Cincinnati's president, Jeff Birding. We'll have more on that coming up. So many of these text messages, some vulgar, many mocking public officials. I think that the tone and the type of language used will surprise some people.
We've heard from the prosecutor specifically. He said they were sophomoric in nature. You would concur with that? I have not had the opportunity you have had to read through them.
It's frankly unsettling to see city officials discussing city business this way.
And what you've shown us, that is just a teensy tiny little bit of this.
Right.
Much more coming up throughout the evening with you. Craig Cheatham, thanks so much. And so far, by the way, 3 of the 5 council members have released statements since the texts were made public. PG Sittenfeld said, in quote, part quote, "I made a mistake and I sincerely apologize. Outside of my family, there's nothing I love more than my hometown and its people. I hate that I would ever let them down." Chris Seelbach wrote, "This was a mistake. The moment we were informed it was a mistake, we stopped and I have fully cooperated since. Lesson learned. I take my responsibility for my actions." Tamaya Denard sent several tweets late this afternoon, including one that says, quote, "I take full responsibility for my actions and any part I played in real or perceived improper open meetings violations." Now, these are only a portion of the council members' statements. Meanwhile, we did talk to Greg Landsman, council member as well as Wendell Young's attorney, this morning.
Anything that was removed from his phone was removed in the course of his daily business well before the matter heated up.
Committed to the work that I set out to do, which was to try to make Cincinnati an infinitely better place for children and families, and that's going to be my focus.
Stay with 9 on your side for continuing coverage of the texts that were released today. You can read the council members' full responses all on WCPO.com right now, and a whole bunch more there as well.